New York City Council members voted this past Thursday to allow legal noncitizens to vote in local elections, but it is not the first municipality in the U.S. to enact similar measures. While New York City is the largest city to do so, with nearly 800,000 additional city residents now eligible to vote, 14 smaller U.S. jurisdictions have similar laws allowing noncitizens to vote in local elections. Most of those jurisdictions are located in Maryland, a blue state led by a Republican governor. The state's constitution authorizes municipalities to allow people outside those qualifications to vote without state approval. Maryland's municipalities that allow certain noncitizens to vote include Barnesville, Cheverly, Chevy Chase Section 3, Garrett Park, Glen Echo, Hyattsville, Martins Additions, Mount Rainier, Riverdale Park, Somerset and Tacoma Park. The 11 locales are in close proximity to Washington, D.C. There are also 2 municipalities in Vermont that allow noncitizens to vote. Lawmakers in Winooski and Montpelier enacted measures in 2021 allowing legal noncitizens to vote in city elections despite Republican Governor Phil Scott's attempts to veto the legislation. Additionally, San Francisco began allowing certain noncitizens to vote in school board elections in 2016 through a ballot initiative called Proposition N. The Illinois General Assembly introduced a measure allowing certain noncitizens to vote in February. More liberal cities, including Los Angeles, Washington, Portland, Maine and others, have floated the idea of enacting similar laws, while other states, including Alabama, Colorado, Florida, Arizona and North Dakota, have rules that would preemptively stop any attempts to pass non-citizen voting laws. New York's legislation, which would affect green card holders and those with other U.S. work authorization who have lived in New York City for at least a month, will allow noncitizens to vote in municipal elections, including any primary, special, general or runoff election for mayor, controller, public advocate, borough president or council member, as well as local ballot initiatives. Undocumented immigrants will not be allowed to vote, as is the case for all non-citizen voting legislation that exists in the U.S. today. In one of the most diverse cities in the world, we need to ensure that there is adequate representation for all New Yorkers. That starts by expanding the scope of who is allowed to vote in our local elections, New York City Council member Adonis Rodriguez, who introduced the legislation, said in a statement Thursday. Immigrants in New York City own over half of the local businesses and contribute over $190 billion to the citywide GDP. The council member added that more than half of the city's frontline essential workers are immigrants and about 1 in 5 are non-citizen New Yorkers. They have all earned the right to participate in our city elections, he said. Today, we are writing a new chapter in our city's history. One that will finally include the voices of all immigrant New Yorkers who hold green cards, working authorization, DACA or TPS. New York City-based non-citizens will be eligible to register to vote by December 2022 and cast ballots by January 2023.